Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
He'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. From the gun on 3rd down. Shepard, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taking it about the 16. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Eluding the tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
And they'll run it here. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline as a play caller. You're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See it?
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground, and he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from something.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run. And just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Here we go. 1-9.
Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 33 and a 1st. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it, and things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Shepard looking left sideline, incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando in this second week of the regular season. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Shepard, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Finding some room at midfield. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson going for it all. And that is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to our... Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Play action. It's Jackson. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Carlson down to add the extra point.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well,
and now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 40, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a great return up past the 40, but this one may not stand.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Still going. They can't stop. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 75 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But what about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Hey, now let's go. Green, 39.
To throw on third down. Shepard. And he comes back with one complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Back to throw. Shepard firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run on the draw. And now running right through it. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. So he visits pay dirt for a 2nd time. Unfortunately, they're still down on the big board.
And I wonder what's going through his mind right now. Playing hard, making big plays. That wasn't a small run by any stretch of the imagination either, to find the end zone for the 2nd time. Yet his team's still down. They need more of that from him and a little help from the defensive guys.
Extra point attempt to come here. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave one more off this lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. He finds an opening past the 40. Whoosh. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 75 yards. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So we got free at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And this is a blowout so far as we get the Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun, Shepard, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Set. 319. 319.
Operating from the gun. Shepard escapes the defender. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barton. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, Don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
This time Jackson will throw it. And got his man complete. The 40, the 30, 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Shepard. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. Shepard under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Shepard over the middle, complete. It's Barton. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barton. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw on second down. Shepard over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Throwing on first down. Shepard. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process, because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? Quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple.
Detroit! Detroit!
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.